Kim Kardashian and Ray J secretly signed a massive $6 million settlement to finally shut up about their infamous tape. It all went down in April 2023, and even Kris Jenner and Ray J's mom Sonia were heavily involved in the paperwork. They inked a strict confidential agreement stating nobody is allowed to talk about the tape or trash each other in public. Ray J even agreed to leave Hulu and Disney out of any future lawsuits. But obviously, the peace treaty did not last. This whole secret contract just surfaced because they are all dragging each other back to court.
You will not believe this. People are saying Kim regrets the day she went after Ray J. It gets wild because Kim and Kris brought in Alex Spiro, a top lawyer tied to names like Jay-Z and Elon Musk, the kind of guy billionaires call when things get serious. So when news dropped that he was hired to go at Ray J, it made people pause like, wait, was Ray J actually telling the truth this whole time? Ray J claimed the tape situation was planned, saying Kim and Kris were involved from the start. He even said Kris pushed for another version, renting a studio with a full crew to film it again. But when it came out too explicit, she backed off fast like, we can't use this. And that raised even more questions. It gets even messier.
Kim and Kris sued Ray J for defamation, claiming he made up lies about them being investigated by the feds. Ray J fired right back with a countersuit of his own. He says Kim and Kris have spent 2 decades pushing a completely fake narrative that the tape was leaked against her will. According to him, they paid him the $6 million to stay quiet and included massive financial penalties if anyone talked. But then they broke their own rules by discussing the tape on their reality show just a month after signing.
Kris allegedly looked at that second tape and was like, we can't show this, so they stuck with the first one instead. Meanwhile, Kim said the tape was stolen, but Ray J shut that down fast, saying that is a lie. He claims it was actually sold, not taken. Ray J also said they've been dragging his name for years, even on their show. He pointed to moments where they hinted there were more tapes and made it seem like he might release them. Remember that scene where Kim was upset and Kanye flew out overnight to grab a laptop and save the day? Yeah, that whole situation had people questioning everything. They went after Ray J with a defamation case, pushing the idea he was lying and misleading the public through media drops. But Ray J fired back hard. He released a contract showing a $6 million deal tied to everything, and that changed the whole conversation instantly.
Ray J claims Kim and Kris Jenner denied knowing about any federal investigation, but didn't clearly deny racketeering allegations. Kim says she's worried these accusations could affect her moral character review by the California bar, a required step before becoming an attorney. Meanwhile, both sides are suing each other, and the legal war is far from over.
Then it came out that Kim and Kris tried to keep that deal private in court, which raised even more eyebrows. People started saying that Move alone backed up everything Ray J had been claiming. And once that number hit the spotlight, it had everyone talking loud. At the same time, people still point out the Kardashians built a massive empire, no question. But critics say there's been a long pattern of messy moves behind the scenes. Now look, Ray J has his own messy history, no doubt. People have called out his behavior and questioned his actions for years. But even with all that, you still can't just make claims about someone without proof, and that's where things got tricky.
You see what this family, the Kardashians, have been able to do. You look at Kim, who's a billionaire. You look at the younger sister, Kylie. She's
love what Kylie's doing. Amazing.
Close to a billionaire, if not a billionaire. All the family.
For sure, be for Kendall, and I love what Kendall's doing, and Kylie.
How different are their lives minus this tape?
That's a crazy question, man.
Because we know who their father is, because he was one of the lead attorneys on OJ. Rest his soul.
Rest OJ too. Damn, that nigga just died. Rest in peace, OJ.
Some people started comparing this situation to what happened with Blac Chyna, saying the pattern looked familiar. Back then, her show got canceled after major drama, and critics said it stopped her from building more off the brand. That situation was already controversial, and now people are connecting dots all over again. Then came the courtroom twist. Reports said the judge shut down Kim and Kris trying to keep their 2023 settlement with Ray J private. Once that got out, it had everyone saying Ray J might have been telling the truth all along, and the story just got louder. Now here's the legal twist that really got people talking. Court documents said a Los Angeles judge denied Kim and Chris's request to seal details about that 2023 deal. The judge basically ruled they didn't show enough proof that making it public would actually harm them, and that decision turned heads fast. Kim also argued that Ray J speaking on the deal could hurt her path toward becoming a lawyer. But critics were quick to push back, saying there are bigger steps in that journey, like completing the required education and passing the bar exam.
Kim Kardashian's legal dreams just hit serious turbulence, and Ray J is not holding back. Ray J is firing back after Kim accused him of making false claims that could damage her chances of becoming a lawyer. In court documents, he basically said, "Hold on. Kim hasn't even passed the bar exam yet, so how could his words ruin something that hasn't happened?" He also questioned why comments from interviews and Twitch streams would matter at all, unless there was real wrongdoing behind them.
Those are the real hurdles, not just public drama. So when all this came out, people started debating hard, questioning what really matters in this situation and who's actually being affected. Let's keep it moving, because this part gets even deeper. Back in October 2025, Kim and Chris sued Ray J, accusing him of defamation after he claimed they were being looked at by federal authorities. They denied that fast, but people still side-eyed the situation, especially with their past connections being brought up in conversations. Then Ray J flipped it and hit back with a countersuit, saying they breached a 2023 agreement tied to the tape situation. He claimed he was paid $6 million to stay quiet forever, but according to him, that deal was broken when the topic came up again on their Hulu show. On top of that, Kim and Chris reportedly rushed to court trying to keep those documents sealed, arguing they contained highly private details meant to stay confidential to protect everyone involved. But once those claims hit the public, the whole situation just got louder and harder to ignore. This part really makes people question everything. Kim's legal team, reportedly led by Alex Spiro, tried to block Ray J's claims, but he pushed back and didn't fold, and the judge sided with him. That decision forced Kim and Chris to submit full, unredacted versions of the agreement, which only made things look even more intense. Ray J kept saying there was a $6 million deal, while the Kardashian side stayed quiet on that number. And that's where critics got loud. How do you sue someone for lying, but then try to keep the very documents that could prove the truth out of court? People also started bringing up past stories about how the tape was handled behind the scenes, adding even more layers to the situation. At the same time, it's clear they wanted to keep this private, but going to court over something this serious only made it explode even bigger. At this point, people are just confused and arguing back and forth. Some are saying, "Leave Kim alone," pointing to her projects, while others are questioning what really counts as meaningful work. Then headlines pop up about her auctioning rare designer pieces, with numbers reaching up to $80 million, and that sparked even more debate. Critics quickly jumped in, saying there's a big difference between donating profits and giving straight from your own pocket. They argued that after costs are deducted, the final donation may not match the headline number, and that's why people are calling the whole situation misleading. And tying it back to everything else, folks are still stuck on that reported $6 million deal connected to the show and the storyline around the tape. Ever since Ray J spoke out publicly, the conversation hasn't slowed down, and people keep digging deeper into what really happened behind the scenes. This is where things really blew up online. People were replaying the moment Ray J went off, claiming the whole tape situation was planned and not a leak at all. He said Kim and Chris were involved from the start and that he was paid to stay quiet, especially to avoid any legal fallout tied to that whole storyline. According to Ray J, in 2023, they all signed an agreement stopping anyone from speaking on the tape. And he says that deal came with a $6 million payment plus penalties if it was broken. Now here's the twist. He claims they broke it first by bringing the topic up on their Hulu show just 1 month later. And when they tried to hide parts of that agreement in court, the judge reportedly shut it down and said nothing could be redacted. That made the situation even louder, because now every detail tied to that agreement is under serious attention. Now this part adds even more tension. The agreement reportedly included a clause saying nobody could speak badly about the other or damage each other's reputation. And yet, people say the topic still ended up front and center on their show. Ray J's countersuit claims that for years there's been a narrative push that didn't match his version of events. He says in 2023 they approached him to lock everything down legally, which is why that agreement even exists in the first place. And this is where the public gets split. Some people feel like there are still missing pieces, while others are questioning how something like this could stay hidden for so long. It raises uncomfortable questions about decisions, control, and how far people might go when money and fame are involved. No matter which side people lean toward, the situation has everyone debating hard, trying to figure out what really happened behind closed doors. It just leaves people feeling uneasy, like something doesn't fully sit right. Ray J's claims painted a picture that shocked a lot of viewers, and now that more details are out, some are saying it brings everything back to the beginning in a way that's hard to ignore. To be clear, there's nothing wrong with adults choosing their own path or owning their image. That's not the issue people are debating. What critics are focusing on is the idea of how the story was presented to the public versus what may have actually happened behind the scenes. Another layer people keep bringing up is how narratives can shape perception, especially when fame, media power, and influence are involved. Some feel certain storylines unfairly painted others in a negative light, while different voices weren't given the same platform. All of this has turned into a much bigger conversation about image, control, and how far people will go to protect or build a brand in the spotlight. And at this point, the whole situation just feels like it's spiraling into something bigger than anyone expected. What started as one claim turned into contracts, court filings, and non-stop back and forth that keeps pulling in more attention every time a new detail drops. People online are split into sides, arguing over who's telling the truth and who's controlling the narrative. Some believe this was all carefully managed behind the scenes, while others think it's just years of misunderstandings finally coming to light. What really stands out is how fast things can shift when legal documents and public statements collide. Once information starts coming out in court, it's not just rumors anymore. It hits different, and people start looking at everything with a new perspective. And honestly, with this much drama, it doesn't feel like the story is over yet, not even close. And now people are watching closely to see what happens next, because this could go in a lot of different directions. If more details from those agreements keep coming out, it might answer some big questions or spark even more debate. There's also the legal side hanging in the air, because cases like this don't just disappear overnight. Depending on how things play out, it could lead to more filings, more responses, and even more information being pushed into the spotlight. At the same time, public opinion is shifting in real time. Some are rethinking everything they believed before, while others are doubling down on their stance and defending their side even louder. One thing is clear: this situation has people locked in, and every new update just adds more pressure to an already intense story. And another thing people keep pointing out: it's strange how the conversation around culture keeps coming up. Some critics question why certain influences are embraced, but the inclusion doesn't always feel balanced, and that's been a topic more people are starting to speak on. Looking ahead, it's going to be very interesting to see how everything is handled from here, especially as more eyes stay locked on every move. This situation isn't just about one story anymore. It's turned into something way bigger. I'll be honest, I didn't expect to switch my opinion on this, but with everything coming out, it's making people rethink a lot. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this one has layers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you want more breakdowns like this, and join the conversation.